With 2026 around the corner, why living 1 minute at a time might be the most powerful way to reclaim your life?
Hey, this is Stef, and welcome to the Together Moving Forward podcast.
A podcast helping 2S LGBTQI plus people embrace self love and self respect so you can celebrate yourself with pride. By the end of this episode, you will learn how to embrace your 2S LGBTQI plus identity with pride. Discover how letting go of control can deepen self respect, presence, and emotional freedom. Feel less alone as you reconnect with hope, gratitude, and the power of living 1 minute at a time. Today's conversation is about reconnecting with your identity, reclaiming your pride, and moving to the new year with compassion for yourself exactly as you are. Hello again, I'm Stef Vachon, and I'm a human being. Welcome back to the Together Moving Forward podcast. Embrace your 2S LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self love. No matter where you stand in the 2S LGBTQI plus spectrum, we are all connected. And if you ever struggle to fully love and respect yourself, you're not alone. And this podcast is here to help you. As someone who has navigated my own journey of self acceptance as a queer, I know the power of hearing voices that reflect our own experiences. In this podcast, you'll hear real stories and conversations that leave you with practical tools, fresh perspectives, and the confidence to embrace who you are with pride. To start, I need to say that I'm not a psychologist, a specialist, or someone with a college degree. I'm just a regular guy here to share with all of you and support each other. I will share my journey, and we will all share journeys together. We'll learn from each other how to move forward. 2026 is coming really soon. I wanted to make this episode about what 2025 brought me, the highlights of the podcast in 2025, my New Year's resolutions, why they matter to me, and a few simple tips to keep them close all year long. 2025 was an incredible year of learning and growing. It was also a year where my resilience was tested again. I had to revisit what letting go really means and learn even more about not being such a control freak. In 2025, I decided to live fully every day, even more than before. This year, I was diagnosed with a disease called fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a long term chronic condition that involves pain and stiffness through the entire body. Every joint and muscle can be affected, making it hard to walk, sleep, drive, and more. The pain comes with overwhelming fatigue that drains all energy. It can also affect sleep, memory, and mood. I have been in pain for many years, but because I was a professional figure skater for so long, I thought it was normal. I was used to being in pain. So I slowly stopped exercising more than 15 years ago because every time I exercised or skated, the pain got worse. This was one of the reasons I quit figure skating around that time. As the pain and fatigue episodes kept getting worse, I decided in 2024 to find out what was really going on and to take care of myself. I went through many tests with different doctors and every time came back normal. They kept telling me I was perfectly healthy. Finally, I was referred to a specialist who gave me the diagnosis last June 2025. That helped me so much because I could finally understand what was happening and start treatments to reduce the symptoms. I've talked about this in previous episodes, but a little over a year ago, I decided to start figure skating again and compete as an adult in masters competitions. That's when things really got worse with the pain and fatigue. Again, I thought it was because I was out of shape and that my body would adjust. But weeks and months passed and it kept getting worse. There were days that I could barely walk and had to hold on to something just to go up the stairs. This was not normal. And there was no way I was going to quit figure skating again. I kept thinking, I have to do this before it's too late. I'm not getting any younger. The only way I could skate was by taking a large amount of painkillers, and that quickly became a serious health issue. After finally receiving my diagnosis, I understood that I had to stop taking them because it was too dangerous for my long term health. Instead, I could start proper treatments with my doctor. Stopping painkillers made my summer very hard. I didn't exercise much, and of course, I didn't skate much either all summer. Just walking and spending time with my family was already difficult. I'm very happy to say that since the beginning of last fall, we found a treatment that helps. I'm back on the ice and doing better. Not great, but better. Still, I had to learn to live not one day at a time, not even 1 hour at a time, but sometimes 1 minute at a time. I never know when my body will give up on me and for how long. It can be hours, days, or even weeks. All my training sessions and work days have to be adapted to how I feel in the present moment. This taught me so much about letting go of control. I have to adapt my daily life because things can change at any moment. But I want to live and I want to enjoy every minute of it. I can start training on the ice and then, a few minutes later, have to completely change my plan. The same things happens with my work, hobbies, and my day-to-day life. I know this is hard for people around me to understand, but having a diagnosis helped me stop feeling guilty when I don't feel well or when I can't be there for others. I learned to adapt my goals, both short terms and long term. I learned to live 1 minute at a time, to never take anything for granted, and to feel deep gratitude for the present moment. I also learned to accept when it's time to slow down and rest without shame or guilt. So for 2026, I decided that I will skate as much as I can and compete as much as I can while I still can, even with the pain and this condition, because I never know when it might become too hard. Living in the present moment and enjoying it as much as possible is the biggest lesson I've learned in 2025. I have to say that starting this podcast is one of the most wonderful things that happened to me in 2025, besides skating again. I am so grateful for every guest who shared their story and brought so much to me, and I hope to you. Thank you for the bottom of my heart for helping me create this project that means the world to me. I would now like to share my top three biggest podcast highlights of 2025. In third position, figure skating Olympic medalist Eric Radford was in town for only a few days, and he was so generous and accepted my invitation to be on the podcast. Not only as a guest, but he also agreed to have a short skating session with me. And wow, we did a double Sauerkraut side by side together. That is something I will always remember. You can watch it on our social media and you can listen to his wonderful interview in episode 6. In second position, I cheated a little because I have two highlights that are equally important and there was no way I could not share them with you. The first, second position is my very first time being interviewed on a podcast as a guest. Sam and I had the pleasure of exchanging microphones and being on each other's podcasts. What an amazing experience. This was the first time ever that I was interviewed on a podcast. Sam was my guest on episode 24, and she does incredible work with future parents from our community. You can also listen to my episode on her podcast, Becoming Baby Ready, in the November 6th episode, where I share our adoption journey and my experience of becoming a dad. Let's listen to a short audio clip from my interview on her podcast. The three of us, it was love at first sight right away. We were at this social worker in a small room, and then we were waiting to see him for the first time. We only had seen him once on video really quick. And this is like right when COVID started. So, but that's another subject.
Yes.
And when they opened the door and we saw his little face, and every, every time I tell that story, whew, I feel like overwhelmed with happiness. And then I saw his little face. I sat right on the floor, and me and my husband, and we all looked at each other, and that was it. I don't know, like for us, it was like in the movies. They kept telling us, don't think it's gonna be like in the movies, but for us it was. And then we watched a movie called Lion. I don't know if you've ever watched that. Okay, it's about this Australian couple that go to India, and they adopt this young boy. But it's a amazing movie. But just basically, we cried the whole movie. It was so like one of the most incredible movie I've seen. So me and my husband are pretty much the same. So the next day, I just texted him and I said, I've changed my mind. Are you okay with that? And then he said, yes, a big yes. And then that was it. Actually, me and my husband went to see my therapist because I really wanted to explore and see what we really wanted. And right away, our thoughts were like, in this crazy world, I don't want to bring another human being. There's so many children
Right.
that needs a family and they're in need of something better.
Right.
For the other second position, I recorded 2 interviews back to back last summer with Billy McBride O'Neill and US figure skating champion and Olympic medalist Jason Brown, episodes 18 and 19. The week after those episodes were released, they met for the first time at a skating event. They did not know each other at all before that. They sent me a video that I want you to hear right now. That moment made me incredibly happy and brought me to tears instantly. Let's listen to it now.
Hey, Stef. We're here in Sun Valley. The best. If you've never been out and skated in Sun Valley, you got to come out here. It's magical. But speaking of things that are magical, we just have the best time, both of us, on your podcast. And we just want to say thank you so much for all you do. Thanks for talking to us, taking the time to prepare, to put it all together. You're just incredible. So we're just wishing you all the best and want to say huge thank you. Thank you, Stef. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
And now in first position, last summer, as I mentioned earlier, I was dealing with the health issues and I felt pretty alone while working on this project. I was really doubting myself and questioning if this podcast was reaching enough people or helping anyone at all. Then one morning, when I was feeling really crappy, I opened my computer and saw an email. I will read part of it in a moment, and I will try really hard not to cry again. This email was from Kim, who later agreed to be my guest on episode 26 and 27. Here it is. The subject was simply, thank you. First, thank you for being a voice, sharing stories of strength. My son was 5 when he socially transitioned. He had told us he was a boy from the moment he could speak. The moment he had his first haircut, February 17th, 2023, and really saw himself, he said, "You can call me your son now." It made my heart explode with joy. What an amazing human for knowing who he was and for knowing he could tell us. We have lost friends, family, community. We have been accused of child abuse, forcing it upon him, and worse. We remain positive and shield the hate. The trash has taken itself out, we say. I guess I saw your Instagram, listened to some of your podcast episodes, and wanted you to know that your voice is guiding us. We have no idea what's coming, how we will help him through everything he is going to face. But right now, we can just love him and make sure he knows how magical he is. Hearing people's stories gives us hope that he will make it. Kim. Wow. Again, I want to thank everyone who accepted to participate in this project. I have said it again and again, but I really want this to be one of the biggest references for a community and anyone who is on board with us. I really hope this grows so much in 2026, and I'm counting on everyone to spread the love of this podcast. Each of you brought me so much. You have no idea. And I'm sure you helped so many people in a beautiful 2S LGBTQI plus community. I have so much gratitude, and it was a privilege to all met you. Now, I would like to talk about New Year's resolutions. I really love doing this every year. All year long, I keep them close to me and read them again and again to make sure I am using them to move forward. Every December, I revisit what I wrote the year before and create new ones for the new year ahead. I write them on my phone so I always have them with me and can read them again throughout the year. I also write them on a piece of paper and stick it on my computer screen so I don't forget about them. Sometimes I even put one of them on my phone's lock screen, especially the one I really need to work on every day. Here's what I had last year for 2025. First, I had launched this podcast. Check. Start competing in figure skating. Check. Stop reacting to other people's behavior. Oops. I still have to work on this this year. Stop dwelling on the past and stay in the present moment. That is a lot better, but I still have a few moments when I have to revisit that and work on it. Take more personal time for myself. Yeah, beside the skating and the gym, I need to do that a lot more. Like, yeah. Stop taking advice from people who think they know it all. Yes, that I'm doing a lot better, but still have to do so much and work on it. Just for an example, if I need to get a haircut, I'm not gonna go see a salesman, right? I'm gonna go see a barber. So that's exactly what I need to do now. And here's what I have now for 2026. Do everything I can to grow the podcast audience. Launch my conferences inspired by the podcast. I've been working on this for a while and I think it's time to get it done now. Compete in as many figure skating competitions as I can, like I said earlier. Especially this year, I want to go to the ISU International in Oberstdorf, Germany. That's in May. And the Gay Games in Valencia, Spain in June, July. Okay, this one I really like. Stop being loyal to people who say they love me, but mistreat me. This was the biggest breakthrough for me this year, realizing that I will stay with people if they say they love me, even if they're disrespectful, because I feel like I have to be loyal. And that comes from, of course, being told that phrase when I was young about, we love you so much. We're the only people that are always going to be there for you. So at least this year, I really realized that. And I'm going to be working really hard on this. Then I put back again, stop reacting to other people's behavior, because I still have to work on that. I do have to take more personal time for myself. Read a book, go for a coffee, sit down by the river here in the old port. Just do something for myself, alone. I love doing that. And I used to do that a long time ago, and I stopped doing it. I'm too busy, but I need to take the time. And one last one, spend more time with people I love. Before we close, let's take a moment to remember what was explored today together. We were reminded that we can embrace our 2S LGBTQIA+ identity with pride, even when life doesn't go as planned. That letting go of control can create more self-respect, presence, and emotional freedom. And that living 1 minute at a time can help us feel less alone and deeply connected to the present moment. Let's take these lessons with us as we move into 2026 with compassion, pride, and kindness for ourselves. I'm always looking for inspiring guests for the podcast, and I would love to have you or someone you know share your journey with pride. The world needs your story. It has the power to change lives, and your voice matters. Please reach out and send me an email today. It is already time to say au revoir just for now. So please join me every Monday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the Together Moving Forward podcast and learn how to embrace your 2S LGBTQIA+ identity with confidence and pride. If you enjoy this podcast, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode on how to love and respect yourself. If you found this episode useful, share it with a friend or someone you know in our 2S LGBTQIA+ community so you can help them embrace self-love. It might seem like a small gesture, but it truly makes a huge difference. Wherever you are from in the world, we are all connected. Remember, solidarity beats hate. The more we unite, the stronger we become. Because at the end of the day, we are all equally human and we all deserve the same rights. One last thing before I go, put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. Yes, you and me together, and for the new year. I am worthy of healthy relationships and love. Yes, I am worthy of healthy relationships and love. From shame, guilt, silence, and rejection to pride, freedom, healing, and love. Together, we are moving forward. As we get ready for 2026, I want to thank you so much for being here with me and for sharing this journey of growth, love, and pride. I truly appreciate it. See you soon. Ciao. Subscribe now and share to uplift, empower, and make a real difference in our community.